Hello guys, welcome back to the channel that is strangely obsessed with Fragrantica. Today we are reviewing the highest rated niche fragrances on Fragrantica, and today's video is sponsored by Max Aroma, who have provided 3 of these fragrances today. I use Fragrantica as a very useful tool to help me know what the community thinks about a fragrance, which fragrances to check out, hence why I do this highest rated series to see what are the best fragrances from each brand, and hopefully you guys will discover new brands through watching this video. You can see what the note breakdown is, which notes are most prominent according to the community as well, longevity of a fragrance, the projection, its price value proposition, as well as how you should wear it based on the seasons and whether or not it's a day or night fragrance. So yes, Fragrantica is not a perfect place, but it is still a useful tool, so hopefully you guys will learn a lot from this video. Let's begin. As I said before guys, this video is sponsored by Max Aroma, a highly trusted and valued online fragrance store for both designer and niche fragrances. Max Aroma is a website you can tell is created by those who love fragrances themselves. They have some very creative brands out there. For example, they have Aaron Terence Hughes there, they have Micallef, they have Amouage, Xerjoff, as well as many other designer scents as well. And they often give a useful option of ordering a sample of expensive niche fragrances you want to try. Max Aroma have been around for many years. They are authentic and give you great prices on all their fragrances. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to check them out. Let's begin the video. First we have Pantheon Roma R Extrait, which has a rating of 4.47 out of 5. That's a big score. One of the sexiest masculine perfumes in my collection. When I first sprayed this, it smelled like burnt tires and I dismissed it. I tried it again yesterday. It still opens with burnt tires, but as it dries down, it becomes less offensive, more pleasant, and more interesting. Di tutta la collezione penso vinca il podio. Okay, I'm not sure what I said with that last review, hopefully nothing offensive. However, what is this fragrance? Roma R Extrait. This is beastly, first of all. If you want something that has no issues with longevity or projection, you want the longest lasting, loudest fragrance out there, then check this out because this is monstrous. I'm actually not a fan of how monstrous fragrances can be. I like my projection to be a little bit more subdued and reserved. So it's not exactly my style, but I know a lot of guys love this kind of loud, beastly amber perfumery. So this is an amber candied fragrance. It opens up very much like that with a strong and prominent incense note in here. When I look at the note breakdown, I'm actually surprised by how complex it is. I think the note breakdown makes it seem more complex than the fragrance actually is, to my nose at the very least, but this smells very high quality. You can tell they're using high quality amber, so I'm not surprised by seeing a Popinax or Myrrh, depending on what the note breakdown is. I saw the strawberry note. I was surprised by that. It wasn't really strawberry. As I said, it smelled candied in a way, so it was like a vague fruit note was in my mind when smelling this. This smells incredibly high quality, smoky, ambery, sexy, very masculine, beastly. Again, if you want a beastly fragrance, this will get you attention. And as this dries down, it becomes actually less sweet, surprisingly. It becomes a bit more woody and musky, a little bit more dry. And then I can see where notes like leather might come in. I think there's iris in here, maybe a hint of iris. Again, it's not prominent to my nose. Overall, this smells just like a very high quality, strong amber fragrance using very good ingredients in here, you can tell, and the blend is smooth and really well done. More of a masculine fragrance, I would say, more for cold weather, nighttime scenarios. If you like fragrances like Ombre Nomade or Interlude Black Iris, I'm not saying this smells like them, but I feel like if you enjoy that kind of powerful, dark vibe, you'll enjoy something like Roma R Extrait. This is a very good perfume in my opinion. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I think it deserves the high ratings. By Kilian, Angel's Share. So by the way, Roma R Extrait was provided by Max Aroma. This was not provided by them. This is my bottle. This has a rating of 4.38 out of 5. Pretty good, not bad. Smells like you filled a room with palm sugar, alcohol, and vanilla extract. Sickly sweet and reminiscent of an obese child. And that is why I love Fragrantica. How will I explain Angel's Share? If you haven't tried this fragrance, you really should. Pretty much everyone and their dog and their grandma has by this point. Angel's Share might be one of the best and safest high quality boozy fragrances out there. This smells like cognac mixed with a praline gourmand touch in there with a lot of cinnamon and ambers in here. It's balanced, unisex, it smells magical and quite powdery with that cinnamon in there. The cinnamon and the praline sort of combine to give this almost apple pie effect to this fragrance. A lot of people compare this to Oajan by Parfums, and a lot of people, including myself, I would say it is redundant to own both of them. However, as soon as I smelled this fragrance when it came out in 2020, I fell in love with this immediately. You can tell this has the quality, the balance. You can wear this in 3 out of 4 seasons. Don't wear this in the summertime, in my opinion. But if you want a really classy, elegant, head-turning fragrance that is unisex, I think this is worth the price. Yes, I know this is a 50 ml, but I don't think this is the kind of fragrance you'll be overspraying, over-applying. You're probably going to be a fragrance collector who has many fragrances in their collection, so I think this will last you a very long time. I need to try more with the clones, in fairness, but to me, I kind of feel like this is a special fragrance that so far the clones don't do it justice. It might still be worth saving up for the original here. I give it a 10 out of 10. The high ratings are deserved. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Micallef Ylang in Gold, which has a rating of 4.08 out of 5. And this bottle was provided to me by Max Aroma. Literally smells like a super sweet scented candle you'd smell in a shop. Not saying it's bad, it smells great and I absolutely want to eat the scent. And honestly, the smell isn't as cloying as you'd expect for how absurdly sweet it is. That being said, for something that smells like a $20 candle, it's definitely not worth spending $250 grand on this stuff. I have an 8 ml decant if anyone wants to exchange samples. Smooth, creamy coconut milk, banana pudding, and full sweet Ylang Ylang. I'm obsessed with her. So with a name like Ylang in Gold, obviously this fragrance is going to revolve around the note of Ylang Ylang, which is a very interesting floral. You don't really see it in men's fragrances that often, which is why it was impressive when Chypre Fulminare by Naughton and Wilson used it very nicely and made it very masculine. But it's more of a feminine note overall, I would say. Ylang Ylang, I've used it myself in my little dabbling of my laboratory perfume kits. I will say Ylang Ylang is a very thick, creamy, almost custard-like, almost banana-like actually, floral fragrance that I would say fits more into the white floral family. So if you want a sweet, creamy floral, Ylang Ylang is the one to do it, but usually it's going to be more feminine. I will say Ylang in Gold is definitely a feminine scent. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but I think this is very nicely done. I don't think this smells like a $20 candle, but yeah, if you guys want an 8 ml decant, someone has that for you. This is a nicely done white floral, fruity, creamy sandalwood fragrance. This is very smooth. I don't get the specific fruit notes like lychee in here. I get more of that fruit note as they've listed there. It just smells fruity in the opening, but overall creamy and white floral is how I describe this fragrance. It has some vanillic backbones in here as well, but as that other review said, it is impressive that it has all these sweeter notes that actually aren't too cloying overall. I think this is quite a balanced scent. This is a signature you wear in all the seasons, day and night, outside of the summertime, in my opinion. Easily over 8 hours with medium projection. This is a really pretty girl's signature fragrance, in my opinion. Someone who's pretty, elegant, chic. I think she would enjoy a fragrance like this. So yes, it might not be for us guys unless you really like this kind of scent profile. You might want to get this for your significant other, guys. Overall, I'd still give this a 9 out of 10. Initio Parfum Oud for Greatness. With a rating of 4.29 out of 5, not bad. Perfect for summer, gets a lot of attention. Positive or negative, you ask? Yes, I answer. The goat of masculine fragrances lasts over 12 hours on my skin and can smell on clothes days later. Worth the money. I usually hate most of the popular oud fragrances, but this, I think it might be the saffron, lavender and patchouli being so prominent in this that makes it smell so good. It smells fresh and clean and classy. Performance is amazing, projects like a beast, and doesn't wash off my clothes. 10 out of 10. Again, Max Roma did not provide this bottle for this video, but I will say Oud for Greatness to me actually is a fragrance that I actually hated initially. A lot of people hyped it up online, and I was always curious as to why it was so hyped. It smelled a little bit offensive to me, and I think if you're not expecting what this is gonna do to you, I think a lot of people won't like it. Some lay people that I've had smell this really got offended by Oud for Greatness. It is piercing, attacking. It smells like a very photorealistic spice cabinet initially. That saffron is beautiful though. As you start getting used to it, and you realize how it gives a nice effervescence, a nice sparkle that I find in other fragrances like Baccarat Rouge as well. I think the saffron gives a similar effect there. This is a high quality saffron, a unique spicy note with other sharp spices in here. The nutmeg doesn't really give a sweetness or warmth. It does have a warmth, but I think it's coming more from the oud rather than the spices. This has minimal sweetness. It smells masculine, photorealistic in its spiciness, woody, warm, and musky from that oud. But overall though, actually the dry down is my favorite part of this fragrance, and the more I wear this, the more it grows on me. This has a similar vibe to Sauvage Elixir in my opinion, masculine, spicy, intense, dry, Middle Eastern smelling. However, of course, Haltane is the obvious counterpart to this fragrance. It's their sister brands, Initio and Parfums, I think, I believe, so that makes sense. Haltane is the sweeter version. If you're missing the sweetness from oud for greatness, then go for Haltane instead. However, I will not take that away from this fragrance. I feel like this is a great masculine, strong, mature fragrance. If you're a confident, bold, mature man who wants a fragrance that lasts about 12 hours at the very least and has a medium to loud projection, then try out oud for greatness. It's worth trying. I kind of gravitate between this fragrance being a 9 and a 10, so I'll give this a 9.5 today. An excellent fragrance. And lastly, Merchant of Venice Rococo. Provided by Max Aroma, and can we just appreciate the bottle on this? Merchant of Venice do some great designs. 4.15 out of 5 on Fragrantica. I'm in love with this one. Incredible performance, easily lasts 10 hours on my skin and smells delicious. Not a big fan of cacao, but totally TMOV nailed this one. I agree with chemical opening, but it only lasts a couple of minutes for me. Not a big deal. Damn, this is so good. I'd say unisex leaning masculine, 8.2 out of 10. I find it masculine in a very classic way. I can imagine Don Draper wearing it. Rococo is so good. Intense, intimate, intoxicating, and velvety. The main notes I get are powdery warm cocoa and heliotrope, enveloped in sweet balsamic notes. There's also a lighter citrus note, bergamot, that adds some lightness and breaks up the warmth. I am really surprised anyone says that the opening is harsh to this, because this fragrance to me, straight away from the very beginning, smells extremely smooth, very well blended, and I wouldn't say this is masculine, I'd say this is perfectly in the middle unisex actually. This has a very soft, warm, ambery glow to it, enveloped in a lot of cacao. It smells very candied from the heliotrope, which gives a slight marzipan effect to fragrances. And it's never too cloying because it's balanced out with that bergamot as it's listed, as well as the frankincense, which gives a spicy and citrus facet to the fragrance, as well as frankincense being quite ambery in itself. This is a kind of fragrance, if you enjoy Dior Homme Intense, you'll probably love this fragrance. I think it's very well blended, but it's very unique. It has a spiciness to it that no one else has really done before. Clove can be an extremely intense spice, but actually this is not overly done with that. This is nicely balanced. It is very inviting, seductive. I can kind of see the Don Draper analogy, but I would say this smells unisex overall. I get 8 hours longevity with a soft projection on my performance with this. It doesn't scream off your skin at any point. It kind of goes soft quite quickly, but it just stays there like a solid wall. So this is actually a perfect date night fragrance. You can wear 3 out of 4 seasons, not in the summertime, but for the evening, a nice date night or reserved evening occasion, this is perfect for it. It's not exactly my style, and I will say you should probably sample this before you buy a full bottle, but I still give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think this is solid, and it's worth trying out. And that concludes this video, guys. What are your thoughts on the fragrances discussed today? Again, guys, make sure you check out Max Aroma. We'll have a link in the description and below, as well as a pinned comment. Have you tried any of these fragrances? Are there any you want to try now after watching this video? Also, what are some recent niche fragrances that you've tried or you think everyone else should check out? Let us know in the comments down below, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous part on the highest rated niche fragrances. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.